Indiana Jones, It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute, the podcast in which we celebrate and discuss the film Raiders of the Lost Ark 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor from IamTomTaylor.com.
I'm Pete Mummert from PeteRemembers.com.
I'm Gerry Porter.
And joining us again is our returning champion, Christy Porter. Welcome back, Christy.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Christy.
Yay.
Yay.
It's good to see you again. Thanks for joining us for minute 50, which begins with Indy realizing something important about Belloc's staff and ends with Belloc leading some Nazis through a desert dig. And
at the very beginning of this minute, like, Indy has clearly been eating dates all day, maybe even all week. I don't even know. And you know, and not only that, but he's been walking around the old guy Imam Soothsayer's apartment, like fingering this date the whole time, like running it around his hands. And you'd think, I mean, the Barranca doused the whole bowl in liquid death.
right.
And yeah, and I mean, wouldn't you feel that? Because he knows he's been fondling dates all day, and then he gets this one bowl that's just like cereal date poison, and he's like he puts it in his hand. He'd be like, this one's kind of, what's going on? So I don't know. I would think he might feel the poison.
I don't know. I mean, aren't there other ways of preparing dates? And you know, this could be one with like a, I don't know, what am I trying to, like a sauce on it or something, or a
Poison sauce.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, like a nice ranch arsenic.
Yeah. It tastes good going down.
Well, I would also point out, Jer, that he was fairly distracted. You know, it's a big day.
Yeah.
And dates were probably, you know, he was probably just mindless eating, is my guess. Not really
maybe
paying
nervous.
attention.
Nervous eating.
Yeah, paying attention.
Not paying attention, yeah. He's not a nervous fellow, though, so no.
Well, and Marion did just die.
She blew up in a ball of fire. He's got a lot on his mind.
Well, life goes on, according to Sallah. So.
Yeah.
Life goes on, Indy.
The jolliest mourner in the world.
The proof is right here.
Yeah, and actually this minute starts with like one of the, I don't know, maybe not one of the most quoted, but it's like one of the things I always go to with Indy and, you know, checking with Sallah, hey, wait, that staff that headpiece that you saw only had markings on one side, and they both do, they're digging in the wrong place. And just as I did it now, I'm always doing they say it at the same time, but I'm always doing the Sallah version, and I realized that Indy, if you listen to him, they're digging in the wrong place. Almost as if he's just trying to do like a harmony for Sallah to work off of. And then the two of them together sound awesome, but Indy sounds like he's falling asleep.
I just listened to that. I actually just listened to that now. It's beautiful.
It is.
It is. It's like this polyphonic, beautiful harmony thing. And it's because of Indy.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is you're like, that little lilt works because Indy on that one's really doing the hard work. He's like the guy who's letting Sallah shine on the little song.
He's a giving co-star.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jared, you're a musician. You would know. You're talking just like a musician of some kind.
And then Sallah goes with it. He bursts into Gilbert and Sullivan, and I've never heard the actual full version of this song that he's singing. And even when I tried, like when we started doing this project, I was like, oh, I'm going to go find that song and listen to it. And I found some stage recording of it, and I got exactly this far into the song, and then I stopped because I'm like, you know what? Sallah did it best. Even if he just cut it off after a couple of bars, he's the king of that song, and no one's ever going to do it better. And there's something about, I don't know how much of a thread this is in entertainment, but there's something about interrupted songs that I think is great. Like this, I always think of the Bugs Bunny where it's Little Red Riding Hood, and he's messing with the wolf, and he's got the wolf like distracted. The wolf has been chasing him the whole time, but he gets him distracted and like doing this song with him. But then at the next time they do it, like Bugs takes off, and before the wolf notices, he's like, "But on your old gray bonnet with your blue." And I do that constantly. It's one of my favorite songs.
I believe he also interrupts himself with the Lady in Red, same episode. I could be wrong. I haven't actually queued that one up in my head.
Oh, really?
Well, how about...
That's an interrupted song?
We'll never know how the end of that song goes.
You never...
I'm pretty sure it's Gilbert and Sullivan, though.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or at least Cole Porter.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you get the hook. You get the hook.
Right.
Yeah.
Before Chewie and just completely interrupts.
So are we putting this on the Star Wars reference page?
Oh.
Interrupted song?
Interrupted possible intergalactic Gilbert and Sullivan songs? Yes, absolutely. Put that on the list.
Well, it sounds better in space.
You know, I was wondering, when they were, like, directing this scene, where they're like, okay, so I want you guys both to realize that they're digging in the wrong place. And then Sallah, I want you to just start belting, I am the monarch of the sea.
Yeah, basically. I think so. Actually, I haven't looked in the screenplay. I wonder if that is in there.
Or they're like, just, jump into your favorite song.
Right. We could have broken to Billy Joel.
Riff on that one?
Yeah, I wonder if that was a John Rhys Davies inspiration.
And I never noticed until just watching it right now that the reason Sallah stopped singing is not just because he wanted it to be a really powerful, memorable hook, but it was actually that he sees the dead monkey.
You never got that before?
I never got that.
I never got that before.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
I love you, Pete.
You guys are weird.
You got my back. You always provide a nice groundwork in which I can lay some harmonies over.
I'm sure there's a lot of obvious stuff that I've missed in this movie.
Can I take this back about 10 seconds as well?
Yeah.
One thing I thought was really interesting is that there's some sort of visual foreshadowing here. That if you look at Sallah's pocket kerchief, it looks exactly like a king cobra rearing up.
What? Wow.
That's hysterical.
Oh, okay. I mean, it doesn't explain why he's wearing a pocket hanky with a boutonniere, or why either one of those accessories looks so fresh after a long day.
That came up yesterday, or the day before, and I think we decided he wears it well. Whatever Sallah's doing, it works.
He does wear it well, but gosh, King Cobra, I hadn't noted. I'll have to take a look.
Yeah, I'll be curious if anyone else sees that or if that's just me.
He hasn't asked for a pocket chain, for a watch chain. So then, was everybody sad about the monkey dying?
No, he's a bad monkey.
He was a bad monkey. He seemed like a conflicted monkey at worst, maybe. I don't know.
I've grown to be a monkey fan. I think he was, he realized, he was just doing what Barranca was telling him to do. But Indy was kind of a nice guy, and he liked hanging out with Marion. He was kind of sad. He liked hanging out with Indy.
Yeah, he's sort of a patsy. He got stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
Hey, he got in with the wrong crowd.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It's one of those things.
I'm not buying it. He's a wicked, wicked monkey. he's a bad monkey, man. Yeah, he's working. He bet the wrong team. Bet the wrong horse entirely. That monkey did.
He's just a stupid monkey.
Like I said, like Francisco Pizarro, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
You live by the poison date, you die by the... Okay.
Yeah.
And speaking of dying by the date, it's a gorgeous shot with the cameras looking down through the ceiling fan, and it looks very film noir. Like you see the monkey sprawled out on the carpet.
Yeah.
and the
Yeah, so
shadows.
there's that's something I needed to ask you, film types. So why so yes, it looks very familiar, but what is it supposed to mean, or what do you, I mean, it's okay, film noir, so why is looking through a fan film noir?
Well,
Oh, I really got you on that one.
I missed that class.
no, I thought. I mean, film noir was all about shadow and light, and sort of like the conflicted monkey. You see the shadow and the light are kind of alternating over him.
Yeah.
Like, is he good? Is he bad? Maybe he's both.
Well, he's dead.
And it looks cool.
What does that tell us?
He's a monkey fatale.
Scantily clad, not wearing any pants.
Yeah,
Something I was wondering is why he has different dates all around him. He's got like dates.
Oh, because he's been eating a ton of them. He's a pig.
No, actually, they're just a little gnawed.
Well, yeah,
So,
he's a slob.
Yeah, well, so did he like chew on the dates and he's like, "Peh, this tastes like poison sauce," and then he spits it out, and then he puts another one in his mouth? I just don't think monkeys do that.
I guarantee
I'm
monkeys
sure
do
this one
that.
will taste better.
Yeah, I better eat this date because that other one tasted like poison sauce. No.
Monkeys are awesome at learning from their mistakes.
Whenever you see something shot through a fan, it's always isn't it sort of spooky, mysterious?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, like when if you're, it makes you think, is that like if you're a spider that lives on top of a fan on the ceiling, is your whole life like that? Like, when am I going to get out of this bad dream? This film noir life.
Yeah.
Oh, before we get off the bad dates, my friend John Eisen once met John Rhys Davies at some, I think it was like a showing of Raiders in Boston, maybe, like, in the 90s. And he met him. He got to meet him, and he's like, "Hey, do it. Do bad dates. Do bad dates. Just do it." And John Rhys Davies said, "If I've said it once, I've said it 100 times." And he didn't do it, but he was cool about it.
Well, all right.
Yeah, you can't blame the guy. He's got a life to live, for crying out loud.
Well, speaking
There's
of
oh,
go ahead.
Sorry, right above the monkey, there's actually a belt or something with a buckle, and I was wondering if you guys knew what that was. It's not on the table. It's on a little I don't know, a hassock or something like that. And I could not figure out. It's not his whip. It and you see it in both shots, both the close dead monkey shot and the fan dead monkey shot.
Huh.
I couldn't tell what it was. Nope, you neither. Okay,
No.
Sorry.
it's all right.
Oh, I see it. I think it's... I'm going to say that's a belt. Somebody took off their belt and put it there. Oh, and I think Indy's whip is there, too.
Well, it is, and I can tell the
whip
whip.
is
But
Okay.
do you suppose this was the monkey taking off his belt and pants? No, probably not. Probably
Anything
not.
he was just like, I've eaten so many dates today. I'm just gonna relax a little
Make
bit.
some room. I'm glad that monkey's dead. He's gross. You ever seen that thing eat? It's disgusting.
Oh man, I missed the monkey.
Yeah,
Already.
poor guy.
Well, speaking of missing the monkey, though, what do you think Barranca is? What is his plan now? Does he have other monkeys, or is he like the Rancor keeper, where he's going to run in and start weeping?
Yeah, I think that's why you don't see him the rest of the movie, because he's it was his last monkey. What's he going to do now? His own dirty work? He's going to try to be somebody's pet and spy on them?
Last monkey. Monkey.
Ah, jeez.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should be ashamed.
That wasn't
I
okay.
should be. No, that's a profit. They were like a dynamic duo. Without the monkey, you're not going to have the purple eye patch Barranca.
Right.
He probably got him the spot on this show anyway.
I know a guy with an eye patch. Okay, so we got a dead monkey, and then we cut to the big, huge, crazy David Lean-esque dig out in the desert.
Yeah.
And this is impressive. I as many times as I've watched this, I always try to see if they did a lot with a little, or if they really did just go all out and build a huge, crazy, sprawling thing of scaffolding and with trenches and things and stuff, and I don't know. It's really cool. It's nice. They did a good job, whatever they did.
It's a real throwback to old Hollywood movies. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just immense.
I wish they had just like taken a CGI camera point of view and just swooped through the, trenches and then dove into a bucket and
Bucket?
Yeah, a bucket.
Oh, all right.
Dove into a bucket.
Sure, all those super exciting things that virtual cameras do.
What's in Belloc's hand? Like his right hand. I think he maybe switches it, but is it a map?
I thought it was a notebook.
Well, he picks something up, doesn't he? He picks something out of one of those things. Is that what you're talking about?
No. He's got a long tube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got a long tube, and I was like, "Is that a map? Is that a map? Like he's coming from the map room, or he's going to the map room with a map? Like, it looks like a map."
Yeah, it's either a map or a white billy club.
Billy Club doesn't make a lot of sense there, Pete.
No,
it does seem like it's just something rolled like like some sort of not blueprint, but like a plan and it probably is a map.
It's like archaeology accessory stuff.
Well, let me ask you this: does he have something in his around? Does he have like goggles on that are shoved up on his head or something? I can't quite tell.
Yeah, those bother me. I don't know what they're like. Clear glasses.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're if they're for just to keep the sand out, or if he thinks they look cool.
Because they do.
They're on his forehead.
The sand doesn't even touch him.
No.
Oh yeah.
No,
I don't think any he's impermeable to.
He never gets
weather
dusty or anything.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a sweat guard. It's like
it probably is. It's probably like a amateur slummer. Or whatever that he probably ordered specifically. But I'm going to be spending a little bit in Tanis.
Don't want to get mussed.
Yeah. One thing I noticed is that he no longer has his pocket watch, the one that he was going to throw in the sand for. It's $10 on the street, and
maybe he threw it in the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now he's got a wristwatch.
The clock's ticking on that watch.
Yeah.
He's a planner aheader. He's a planner aheader.
I better take my pocket watch and my wristwatch, because pocket watches could get sand in them, but wristwatches couldn't.
He's got some pretty sharp shoes too. Those two-tone.
He does.
Those are beautiful shoes.
Yeah, they are beautiful shoes.
For the desert.
Now he stops that hard-working barreling guy, and he steals something from him. He stops him hey, and then he reaches down and he grabs what looks to be like a half a coconut.
Right.
What? Well, that's what I thought the notebook was. I don't think that's a half a coconut.
No, he gets it's like the guy's going past him in the wheelbarrow, going to work.
Yeah.
And Belloc stops him and is like, hey, and he grabs something out of his wheelbarrow, and I was looking at it and I was like, oh, he grabbed a half a coconut, maybe like a breakfast sort of thing.
He's just so into archaeology that he'll just grab any little piece of, detritus that is 1,000 years old, because it's fascinating to him.
The guy is completely fine with it. He's like, well, okay.
Well, what's he going to do? No.
What's he going to do?
That's from my pile.
Everybody in that dig is used to Belloc taking something and going, what was once yours is now mine.
Hey, Belloc, I didn't even possess that. You don't have to take it from me. It's already yours.
Right.
One thing I noticed about Belloc, I noticed it in this scene, and actually he does it earlier in the scene where he's talking to Indy. The way he pronounces archaeology, he does it a very French way. He sort of emphasizes the last syllable. He's like, archaeology. Archaeology is not an exact science.
That's how he says it. That's just how he says it.
And then he throws a schedule in there, too.
Yeah.
He did throw a schedule in. Absolutely did.
Just in case you were not quite sure that he was hoity-toity.
Well, yeah.
He is.
Exactly. He is. Absolutely.
You agree?
I agree.
Thank you.
He's like that Picard guy.
Yeah, thank you for saying that.
He was always scheduled.
He was very scheduled.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
Something I had never seen in that scene before were the camels, the dromedaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, question to you: how many humps? I got you.
Oh, there's the Bactrian and the Dromedary. Is the Bactrian too? I feel like this is a Bugs Bunny episode, isn't it? But how many humps are you gonna take? A lot of hammering given to you.
Oh,
It's actually not that hard. They're one hump. They're one hump. There you go.
All right, you got us.
Yeah, I got you on that one. All right.
But right next to the camel, there's a giant, like, gear that's turning another giant gear.
Yeah,
it's like a crazy Rube Goldberg contraption.
That's one detail. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That's one detail of this thing that I wondered. They show that in the establishing shot at first, and then when Belloc's walking by, you see it again, but it seems like it's from another angle, and I wonder if they had a sort of limited built-up thing and then just filmed it from a bunch of different directions to kind of give it the sense of being bigger and having more to it or something. Because, yeah, I think that's like, it's like doing that big conveyor belt thing.
Yeah, I think it runs a conveyor, which brings the coconuts to the breakfast wheel there.
Right.
Belloc comes by and picks it up.
Yeah. It's like Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
It's like the Belloc alarm clock.
That's awesome.
I love that Belloc is so pissed off at Dietrich in this one for jumping the gun and telling Der Furber that, about that they basically found the Ark of the Covenant.
Right.
And you're like, as much as I hate Belloc, I love that he does do things in a way, the right way like that. And he's just furious at him. And you don't see him get that upset, often. And he's just, I know people like that. And you're like, why did you tell that guy that? Now he's going to be coming at me with morning reports. Do you have the Ark of the Covenant yet? Do you have the Ark of the Covenant yet? Do you have the Ark of the Covenant yet? Why aren't you answering? I've texted you 5th text. Did you have? I CC'd everybody. I CC'd Goebbels and everybody on this. Heinrich Himmler. Do you have the Ark of the Covenant yet? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's one historical tidbit that we learn about Der Furber is that he's not a patient man. I never knew that Hitler was considered an impatient man. It's fascinating.
Now we know.
Now we know.
Well, and now Hitler thinks that we have the Ark of the Covenant. I'm going to have an undefeated army, and no one's even invaded Poland yet.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, he's saving
not
it.
Even,
he's saving Poland for the Ark. And these are, speaking of all these Nazis, these are the first Nazis we see, aren't they? Well, the first uniformed Nazis. We saw the dapper spy Nazis in town earlier, but these are the first uniformed swastika Nazis we've seen.
They're like you see, they're like goose stepper Nazis.
Yeah. They got boots
and gloves. I mean, why would they have riding boots and gloves? That just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Hey,
1,000,000 degrees.
Full uniform, no excuses.
Well, I read somewhere that that's not the right uniform. Not that I can tell you which is the right uniform, but somehow that was not the right uniform for the North African Nazis.
Well, maybe they just showed up in town and they haven't had a chance to change yet.
Probably coming right from the tarmac.
Right.
Yeah. They still look very hot.
They do. They look really hot. And Dietrich is really he's kind of jumping all over him. He's acting like he's hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's probably a little cranky. Yeah. Sweaty boots. Yep.
What?
Good point.
Another weird theory here. We've been talking a lot about the Star Wars thing, but this one sort of raises a more Blade Runner Philip K. Dickian theory. But since actually in 1936, the British had firm control of Cairo and Egypt, and certainly the Nazis were not there with any kind of military force. Is it possible we're looking at an alternate universe of
our... interesting.
No.
Man in the High Castle time.
No.
Does Christy Porter dream of electric Nazis?
With boots. But it's not likely that the Nazis could have snuck in there outside of Cairo without alerting somebody. It's true.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Good point.
And they've
That's
got
just a science expedition.
Yeah,
Nothing to
you
be
do a
worried
lot
about.
of undercutting over there. a lot of questions. You bring a lot of questions. I have questions for you. A lot of undercutting with questions.
Well, Pete, how can people get in touch with us and let us know what they like to wear in the desert with their boots and their riding crops and their gloves?
Well, you can let us know that. You can let us know if you think this is an alternate universe or our own, or what the Nazis were actually wearing in 1936 in Egypt, by coming to our Facebook page, Indiana Jones Minute, and we have lots of conversation going on there, or check us out on our webpage at indianajonesminute.com.
And please come back on Monday when we will discuss minute 51 of Raiders of the Lost Ark here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Wait, let's try it. Someone else take the lead on that. I'll do the monotone.
You do the
1,
monotone?
2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do the monotone.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
They're digging in the wrong place.
Well, they're digging in the wrong place now.
Put on your old gray bonnet with your blue...